couple weeks ago, I watched the biggest party of the summer, SummerSlam. I love watching wrestling because it tells stories that are bigger than life. And one of the main matchups of the SummerSlam weekend was Brock Lesnar versus Oba Femi. But this question sat with me as I watched the match. What do you do when you can't be who you used to be? Brock Lesnar, at the end of the match, had faced the reality that all of us has to face eventually. One day, all of us are going to wake up and realize that there are things that we used to do that we can't do anymore. I know that there are things that I can't do at 26 that I used to do when I was 17. One of those things is pulling all-nighters. Man, I don't know how 17-year-old me used to do that. Maybe that's why I'm so short. But this is even more true as we continue to get older. Our bodies, they break down, and the capabilities of the things we used to be able to do begins to fade. So, how did Brock Lesnar seemingly process this reality as he goes against Oba Femi? Oba, he's the new kid on the block, the new powerhouse, the new shiny toy, so to speak. He's unproven. He struts and carries on, and his early level dominance appears to be showing. Brock, being the former powerhouse, feels threatened. He has to show that he still got it, that he can still hang with the best of them. And I can relate to this. Personally, when I see kids playing basketball, I say to myself, I could keep up with them, but I have to stretch first. I'm not in high school anymore. Leading up to the WrestleMania fight, Brock is swiftly defeated at WrestleMania. And reality sets in. For perhaps the first time in years, Brock looked human. Oba shows that he's a force to be reckoned with. Brock was once the man to beat, but there's a new sheriff in town. But does Brock humbly accept his spot as the second most dominant person in the WWE? Not only does Brock return with a vengeance, but now he has a chip on his shoulder. He has to see this through. He has to beat Oba Femi, the man who beat him, the man who's bested him at his own game. After a physically demanding match at Clash at Italy with featuring 7 F5s, Brock finally defeated Oba. The series is now tied 1-1. But we start to see a shift in Brock's demeanor. He's nervous. But why? I mean, he won at Clash in Italy, after all. Maybe it's this little voice in his head that tells him that he really can't hang with Oba. In fact, when Oba challenged Lesnar for SummerSlam, Brock didn't just attack Oba. He attacked everything Oba represented. Youth, strength, the future. Everything Brock knew that he wasn't anymore. This was a different Brock. This ruthless, savage, beast incarnate is now showing uneasiness. But the final act was the piece that was the hardest of all to deal with as wrestling fans. Once again, Brock threw everything he had at Oba in this match. Suplexes, F5s. He even exposed the hardwood and tried to tombstone Oba. Oba managed not to only bounce these attacks off, but hit him with 2 fall from graces and put Brock's career to rest. But this is the kicker. At the end of the match, Brock took the microphone with humility and declared that he was the past and that Oba Femi was the future. And while that seems like cliche wrestling talk or a comic book ending, it's something that we all have to deal with. It's something that we all struggle to deal with. We all have to grasp the death of what used to be. And maybe that's why letting go hurts so much. We're not just losing strength or losing time or losing money. Sometimes we're grieving a version of ourselves that we're never going to get back. Some people spend thousands of dollars trying to look 20 again. Some people spend millions in gear and protein powder and things like that so they could be the physical dominant person they used to be 20 years ago. I think deep down, they aren't trying to chase their youth. They aren't trying to be somebody they're not. but they're trying to hold on to something, a version of themselves that they haven't fully grieved yet. So, what do you do when you can't be who you used to be? You don't deny it. You don't try to fight time and the aging process. It happens to all of us. You humbly accept life for what it is and embrace the new life. Scripture never tells us our value is in our youth or our beauty or our strength. In fact, it even tells us that those things will fade away. But you know what won't fade away? Jesus Christ and his word. Don't anchor your identity into something that God never intended to last. If the Lord is willing, I'll catch you guys in the next video.